the hills of Caroline, I feel something in the air. A new song is on my mind. The sweet melody I hear was sent from heaven above. The song that I'm singing is of everlasting love. Oh, it's a new day for living life, a new day to get it right. Open the windows of your heart and let His love give you light.
Welcome to Cooking with Miss O. Let's join Mary Beth Oxendine in the kitchen as she teaches you how to cook Southern style healthy.
Welcome to Cooking with Miss O, and I have a friend on today that I would like for y'all to meet. I'm very thankful to this man because for as many years as I've known about Springer Mountain Farms chicken, that is the only chicken that my daughter has been able to eat with the chicken breasts. I used to have to get a whole chicken from Colorado. They didn't have chicken breasts at my store or anything, so I had to cut everything. And then all of a sudden, this wonderful chicken came into my store called Springer Mountain Farms, and they're right in Georgia, and I love it. And this is Mr. Gus Arrendale, and you're the president of Springer Mountain Chickens?
I am, Mary Beth.
Well, let me just tell you my favorite part about his story. When I met him, and Marie Pritchard went with me, and we had a great time, and they treated us like we were home folks. It was wonderful. But his dad was in the Second World War.
That's
right?
correct.
So, and you want to tell us a little bit about your story?
Well, we got in the chicken business, like I said, when my dad got out of the Second World War, and then we grew what I call a rubber chicken for years, and it's just low-cost producer, turn it out as quick as you can get it, and I did not like that, and I wanted to be different. I wanted for people to be able to eat healthier, and so we came up with a concept about 13, 14 years ago with Springer Mountain Farms, and how we made our chicken different and tried to differentiate ourselves, and better for you is we feed it an all-vegetable diet. It's never fed any antibiotics. And to make sure that we treat our chickens right, we're certified by the American Humane Association, and they come and audit us. Sometimes we know when they're coming, and sometimes we don't. And we always pass by 100%, and I'm real proud of that. We test all of our feed ingredients. They're tested before they go into our feed formulation, and they're tested when they come out. And it's just a better product, and I think if everybody had tried it, they would too. I'm proud to say I answer 10 letters that I get a week saying, you know, I used to buy somebody else's chicken or this chicken or that chicken, and now I tried Springer Mountain Farms and I'll never go back. And I want to wallpaper my walls with them. I like that so much. But I get a lot of satisfaction out of just making a healthier product and people saying that it tastes better, that it's better for them, that they'll never go back again.
You know, another reason I had him on, I was very disillusioned within 2 years after I started changing my daughter and our diet so my daughter would live. And Gus, I thought, well, I started to say a different brand, and I don't need to say that, but I thought the food industry watched out for us moms, and they don't. They don't.
They really don't. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors, and I'm not trying to throw off on anybody else, but there is a lot of smoke and mirrors,
right.
And we are the real deal. And I'm proud to say that you even came to see us, and I think you saw what we did.
Yes,
and,
exactly. I already knew what you were, but I had never seen. You know, and like Marie Pritchard said, I don't even want to go to a restaurant that doesn't have his chicken, because when I realized how careful, I knew you have to be careful in your kitchen at home, ladies, but really where the careful stuff really starts is in the place where you're taking care of getting the meat ready for us.
That is correct.
And
everything that we do is we're ISO 9000 certified. We use a program, a protocol so we try to make it. Unfortunately, a chicken is a living thing, and you can't put it in a mold like a widget and stand stamp
No,
it
you
out.
can't.
But
That's
we try to
right.
make it as consistent as we
you
can.
do.
We
You're
can
right.
make the feed consistent. We can make the water consistent. We can make our housing consistent, what they live in. But the living chicken itself, we can't. But we get pretty close on it.
Yes, you really do.
Yes.
I and Marie Pritchard and I came home absolutely amazed. And what this show is basically all about is teaching people, Gus, how they can get stuff that is exactly what they're advertised to do. So many times they advertise something and it's not really that.
No, it's not,
So-
and it's really scary. The American consuming, the public don't know that, and,
No, they don't.
they don't, and there's a lot of confusion out there.
There
You
is.
know, people say all natural. Well, all natural means in the chicken industry is there's nothing added to it when it's at the chicken plant, that it's not injected. If you'll look at a lot of these packages, everything now is 15% chicken broth. This, that, it's everything. Like I said, the only way you can be sure that you're getting the real deal is by Springer Mountain Farms chicken.
That's exactly right.
That is.
And I want to tell you that I went to them, as I've been talking about Springer Mountain before I ever went to you, Ingalls, Be Well Honey. The stuff I talk to you about is the stuff I have used for years. And let me tell you some stuff that you might not know about your chicken that this mom
Okay.
in her kitchen knows.
Okay.
First of all, and I think I told you this, how I could tell this chicken was not shot up with stuff, and you have to be careful, y'all. They get around, people get around to make money around every kind of law that's made.
Sure do.
And if they're not shooting it in the chicken, they're shooting it in the egg. If they're not putting it in the egg, it's in the feed. So you've got to watch what the feed is, what the egg is, and then to the chicken. So they can get around just about anything. But see, for my family, this is deathly for my daughter. And how many other children is it deathly? So this gentleman here changed my life, and he didn't even realize it. And how many other moms' lives need to be changed for their children?
Well, thank you so much, and I would like to tell everybody in your audience that what I really love stories like yours. I was not aware of you. I'd never heard your name. You got in touch with us and said, I love your product, and would you come see me? And I think I said, no, you come see me first, and
Yes.
you did. But you'd been using it for a long time, and what a great testimonial to Springer Mountain Farms that no, I didn't know who you were, and you called and said it's just great. And as I have gotten to know you better, I am so impressed with your knowledge about food, and I've learned just from watching your shows, and just one thing that I picked up on another show that you did that I thought that I was maybe the only one that noticed that, but you, and one of your other shows, you picked it up. What I've always said is you need to eat around the grocery store.
Right.
You stay out of the middle.
Yes.
Everything, your fruit, your fresh meat, vegetables, stuff like that, that's on the outside of the grocery
Right.
store, and stay out of the aisles. And I've always said that, and I never have whatever, maybe you had the strength or whatever to say that on TV, because I thought I would make a grocery store mad. But since I've seen you say it on one of your shows before, so maybe
It's
I
the
saw.
truth.
She said it. She tells the truth.
That's right.
So, yes,
That's
there's
right.
the sin of omission and the sin of commission.
You're
I have been a little bit guilty maybe of the sin of omission by not saying that.
Well, you know, I'm so thankful to this station that they let me do this too. But at one point with Marie, when she was real little, we couldn't eat anything in the grocery store. And then Ingalls started getting organic fruits and vegetables. I had to order from Colorado, from Montana, from California. I also tell y'all all the time, please make sure that what you're eating, especially when you have children or if you have people with cancer, that it is from the United States.
That is correct. I was lucky enough to go with a delegation from the United States to Cuba. True story. We go down there and spend about a week in this agricultural trade trip. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'd like to say this too, Cuban people are so nice. I wish we could trade with them better. They really like the Americans, love Americans. But we were going through their fields and their greenhouses and stuff like that. And they kept saying, everything's organic, everything's organic, everything we grow is organic. And I was with the Commissioner of Agriculture for the state of Georgia, and we got back in our bus that they were taking us around in, and I said, at the time it was Commissioner Urban, I said, Commissioner Urban, what do you think about all the organic stations and stuff? And he said, well, down here, Gus, it may be, but he said, in the stuff that they're using on their special, their tomatoes, he said, it's illegal in the United States. So you really, really do have to watch that, because you want it grown here in the United States, and it's best thing. A lot of people import their grain that from China that they say that is organic.
Yes.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't want any organic grain from China. I've heard too
No,
many
because
other horror stories.
they have sewage that runs past the fields.
Yes.
And if they spray something in another field, that'll blow over to the field. They don't have rules and regulations that stop that.
That is correct, Mary Beth.
And Mexico's the same way.
It is. You are the best thing on guiding the audience on how to eat better, eat healthier. But the United States has the safest food supply that there is in the world.
They do.
We do.
You're exact. Israel too.
Yes.
Israel does too. If you get spices, a lot of my spices from Simply Organic is from Israel. Anything from Israel, and your oil from Italy is fine, and the United States is the best.
It is.
It is. It's hard to get stuff over here from Israel because they don't make the amounts that we make.
It is, and we do have, if we've talked before, there are some loopholes, there are some faults, but and everybody likes to complain about the government, me included, but in the long run, when you get to the bottom of the line, we try and we're the best that there is.
We really are, and I'm very proud of us. And in
1986,
probably that chemical you were talking about, DDT, was illegal in the United States.
Oh, yes, DDT was legal, you know.
Yeah, and that's, my daughter was allergic to that too. We had so many children die from cancer because of DDT on their cereals.
Yes, I agree. It's so much wildlife too.
It is. You're exactly right. Now, we're going to a commercial break. Join us back for more with Gus. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Gus, I'm fixed in my recipe book, and if you people have that, it's the second Sunday dinner. It's the Sunday dinner with the chicken, and on Sundays, I love cooking Sunday dinner.
Yes.
With being married to an economics teacher, he loved that I like cooking Sunday dinner too.
Yes, and for my 2 cents, for what it's worth, people don't know how lucky they are here in the United States on the value of the food that we get.
Right.
Used to, when my father, who I grew up under and learned a lot of my business from, and by the way, when I wanted to go to Springer Mountain Farms, he was the only one really in our company that supported me real good. And thank you, Daddy. He went to a better place, but it's the Springer Mountain Farms chicken is the best you can get, Mary Beth.
I know it is, and I
really
can tell you that because I've been checking them out for 24 years, so maybe 26. No, it's 24.
Yes,
I get mixed up on my daughter's age. I have to go to where she was 2 and she's 26 now. So
yes, and one thing. Now, my father always told me that growing up, the only time they ever had chickens for Sunday when the preacher came over.
That's right.
You know, it was Sunday dinner, and now
Tom's family too.
Yes, and now the economics of the United States, the way that the food and bless the United States of America, because we've got the cheapest food supply and the best food supply that there is in the nation. So now you can have chicken 7 days a week.
That's right.
To me, I want three times chicken and biscuit in the morning.
Oh, yes.
Have a chicken salad sandwich at lunch, and have a baked or fried chicken, which I really like.
Right. That's right.
Maybe that's not that good for you, but
no,
one thing that I learned from you on another one of your shows too was, and I'm going to start doing it, is grinding my wheat berries.
Yes.
And
I'll teach you how to make bread. Do you want to learn how to make bread?
I'd love to make bread.
I'll teach you. We'll get him back on here.
We can put the bread in chickens and dumplings.
Oh, let me tell you, yes. Another thing, too, is when you bake this chicken, and then after you've had your Sunday dinner, then at night, for Sunday night, so I don't have to cook again, you just slice the rest of the chicken off, and if it's in little pieces, take fresh tomato out of the garden, fresh green lettuce, not the head lettuce, but the green leaf lettuce. That's healthier.
Right.
And you put that on there, and with that homemade bread, that is the best sandwich. Or if it's in the wintertime, I take the bread, I toast it a little bit, and then I take the leftover gravy and take the leftover chicken and put it on there, and you have a hot toasted chicken sandwich open face.
That sounds good, and not to take away anything from our chicken at all, but you make the best bread, and it's homemade. And do you do much bread cooking on the show?
Actually, no, I haven't done it. We're going to do a two-parter and do it on that. I do it in cooking classes in my home.
Yes, that is the prettiest bread that you've made that I've ever seen.
Really?
And it's healthy for you, and she grinds everything.
And I do it in the morning while I'm getting dressed, put my makeup on, y'all. I just I grind the wheat, put it in there, and let it rise.
Turn it on, put on the...
Yes.
Put on the lipstick, it's done, turn it off.
You know that commercial where she was making the bacon or something? I forget. We used to laugh about that, me and my sisters. And it's that easy to make your own bread. It really is. Because I have that grinder, That just takes minutes. You saw that.
Yes.
And then I have a Bosch, and in the Bosch, it needs it, so I don't have to knead it. It's wonderful. And both of those things are less priced than one mixer in the regular store. Is that not amazing?
That is.
And neither of these are sold in stores. You have to go through the companies or through people that you can get them offline and stuff. Is
Well,
that?
it does. I just love the way that you make your bread and you grind everything and it's fresh and it reminds me of the way we feed Springer Mountain Farms chicken. It really does. Like I
Yes.
said, there's no antibiotics. There's no meat and
Nothing.
bone meal. Everything is just corn, a little bit of soybeans and vitamins.
And I saw all your labs, Marie and I did. We saw the labs, and I was impressed with all that because coming from the Clemson area, a lot of technology goes on in labs and stuff like that where
Yes, ma'am, and rah on Clemson on that. Clemson and I have to say this, University of Georgia too, but Clemson is very, very involved with us on our formulation and the raising of our chickens on how we do it. They are very, very helpful. Their extension service is excellent. I am all for University of Clemson.
I appreciated Jordan Rand saying that, so
Well,
thank you
it is.
so
Well,
much.
that's on the business note.
I know that.
Not on the football note.
I know that. I know that.
But as far as smarts, they got it. They do.
They do, don't they?
They do.
I know that. Now let me tell you, I used organic spices on this, and I'm making the whole chicken for Sunday dinner.
Yes, ma'am. Would you talk on that a little bit for me? I have heard you say before in your other shows, you know,
Yes.
Organic is good, but organic is not a food
check.
safety. It's not a
No,
food
it's
safety
not.
issue.
You're right.
It's a marketing tool that does not have
Well, they've
anything to
taken
do.
it up as a marketing tool when they saw everybody wanted it.
Yes.
But everybody, I'm going to tell y'all, they do not always tell the truth. So I have learned
Thank
now
you.
it was harder. It's harder now for me to keep up with stuff because
Yes.
so much is now being allowed. And it's not that the government has messed up. It's just people aren't being as honest as they should be.
You're absolutely
and I'm sorry
right.
to say
Yes,
that.
yes.
But we need a revival of integrity in this country at all levels. I'm sorry.
I think that we ought to run you for president of the food police.
I would love that. And I
That
would
could be
very
good.
sweetly, southernly,
That would be,
with
but-
very graciousness tell them, please, don't
Yes.
kill our children anymore.
Yes.
You know,
Very
and that's
well
how I
said.
feel. Let me tell you, I love Springer Mountain chicken, and let me tell you why. I've told y'all in other shows. The liquid, when I boil the chicken breast, or when I'm going to make the broth from this, so I have my own broth, I put it in the freezer, I don't need canned broth, then my liquid is clear here. When it changes color is when I add an onion to it, add the other vegetables to my broth so that it cooks with it. So this whole chicken, remember, economically and healthy is my two issues.
Yes.
So this chicken right here is so economical for me because not only am I going to get a couple of meals out of this chicken that I do for Sunday dinner, depending on how many people are there for Sunday dinner, but then I take the bones of this and whatever's left and I put that into a pot and cover it with water, and we're going to do that for you on a second part. This is a two-part show, Gus, and if you can stay for the second part, I'd love that.
I
okay?
would be very
So-
honored and privileged if you'd let me.
I would love that.
Thank you.
And so we use every part of that chicken, okay? And I think that's really important. That saves you a lot of money. Now, let me tell you, when you have a healthy chicken, when you put the bones into making your broth, then, Gus, you have nutrition that you don't even realize. The reason you don't want to use the bones on stuff that has a lot of chemicals, it's been grown up with the feed or whatever with chemicals,
It's in the
you're
bone.
putting that junk into your body. How my daughter, one of the things that was essential in her getting well was I had good chicken, but my chicken had to come from Colorado.
Yes.
I had to get chicken from Colorado because there was no place in the South until you. And that's why I love y'all so much. But the reason is I had to make sure that what I boiled for her, and then I put all kinds of vegetables in there for it, and within 3 months, her skin changed from gray to a beautiful rosy color like it was supposed to. You know, her eyes weren't dull anymore, and she wasn't lethargic. She had gotten to the point where she couldn't sometimes even walk anymore.
Yes.
She would just fall.
As you and I have talked before, as we've got to know each other, you are what you eat, and since
Right.
World War II, all the food has gotten so processed
Yes.
and driven by economics, I
Right.
guess you'd say, and so that's where you get your fillers and you're cutting the corners and
Yes.
stuff like that.
And if you notice, in my cookbook, I use no canned soups.
Yes, and as you also talked before, diabetes in the United States
it's
is at
horrendous.
epidemic level
You're
in
right.
kids.
In kids.
In kids.
In
And you
kids
used to didn't
now.
have that. Well, what
Yeah.
happened? The way way they eat them? What
There's no
changed? Yes, the
nutrition
way
left.
that
It's
no.
because it's dead
What
food.
happened is the way that people
Right.
eat. That's exactly.
I'm putting all my spices here, and this recipe will be on the website. Let me tell you what it is. We have children with type 2 and juvenile diabetes twice. I mean, they both have it before, and they're not even 18.
Yes.
That's impossible. I mean, it's not impossible. It's happening.
Well, it's
Because-
terrible. It's terrible on the children with their health,
Right,
and it's
right.
terrible on our health care system.
You're
I mean,
right.
It costs you and me and everybody else out of our
Right.
pocket when
You're
they get
exactly
sick.
right. On the chicken, y'all, I'm doing, that's the wrong side on that one. Let me see. This is the
Oh,
garlic.
that's garlic. I was going to say,
That
okay.
is, I almost
Maybe it's
dumped
the
all
right
that
side
in
to be
there.
open.
I messed that up, y'all. Okay, I do the fresh garlic, I do the black pepper, I do the parsley, and I do the, what am I thinking? What is the last one I'm not doing? Onion, no?
Celery?
Celery, that's it.
Celery.
Thank you so much. And my sister-in-law, Linda, is the one that made me add the celery seed. And this one's celery salt instead of celery seed. Then I usually use a white onion, but with chicken, you can use a yellow onion. If you're doing your broth, and you can find a United States yellow chicken, which I have here. It's an organic one from Ingles.
Yes. Would you tell our viewers about the onion? I thought I learn a lot from you. I really do about the time of the year with your
now
onion.
in the summer, you Georgia boys have the best onion.
Oh, Vidalia,
The
yes.
Vidalia. So I don't use anything but Vidalia, and I try to keep it as long as I can into the fall, and I can't wait till my vegetable stand opens and I get it
It's kind
there.
of like I put my homegrown tomato plant in the garage when it starts frosting,
Yes,
and I bring it out in the
exactly.
daytime. Hoping I will
Yes.
get one more
And then
tomato out of it.
The other thing I do is I use white onions from Ingles, and Ingles is the only place I can get it. And because, Gus, they buy onions from other countries, and I don't do that because it's not safe for my family. So if you want an onion in the winter that's mild, like a Vidalia, and doesn't have a real strong taste, I do the white onion. And you want that in your collards because you don't want bitter onion, you know?
Yes.
So now, if you do the yellow onion for your broth, you want to leave the yellow on here. Because if you do, it
I
changes
didn't
the
know.
color
Really?
of the broth. That's how you get a yellow broth.
But you're saying leave the skin
Leave the skin right next to the other.
right next to that?
Yes, and you put it in. So that's why if you're going to do a yellow onion, you need an organic one, and that's what I used from Ingles, okay? But this onion here, we're going to put in here. This is not going to be in our broth, so I'm taking that off, okay? Because it gives you your color. We need to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back. Thank you. Now remember, y'all, that this is a two-parter with Gus. So even though when the cameras go off for y'all today, we're going to go ahead and finish filming, so this will be a 2-week thing. And so turn back in, and I'll be making the broth from this chicken and from the bones of this chicken. Now I'm going to finish this up. We've done these 4 spices, which is in the cookbook in my spice thing, and I'm doing the organic garlic that I get at Ingles, and then we're going to put this right in here. I do a lot of garlic. Garlic is very healthy. It's a natural antibiotic. Did you know that? Garlic's a natural.
Yes, I did know that.
So-
One thing I'd like to compliment you on, I've been on cooking shows before, and everything that she does is real. I mean, it is. It's not done in the back room by somebody else. They take it out and you just put it together. No, she does it all.
Actually, I didn't know that the people did that
Yes.
until y'all told me. I
Yes.
thought everybody did it like me.
No,
well, let me
she-
tell y'all
she-
too.
It's real.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
it
much.
is.
This, I put the onions in, I chopped them in 4, and we're getting ready to go. We will see you next week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.